Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, Central Indiana sports fans, and welcome to the Central Indiana Sports Report for my new daily podcast, Greg and his friends talk sports. 10 to 20 minutes every day, updating you what's going on in Central Indiana sports with the Pacers, Colts, Fever, IU, Purdue, IndyCar, Butler, Notre Dame, Indiana State, you name it. If it's in Central Indiana, my friends and I are talking about it. Some days this podcast will have high quality production and we'll hear from coaches and we'll get some play by play and we'll hear from our friends. Some days, like today, it'll be just me. Sometimes it'll be short and sweet. Sometimes it'll be the full 20 minutes, depending on what's going on that day and how much time I have. Either way, I'm having a blast doing it. No friends today. Hope that's okay. After I go through what's happening around Central Indiana, I chatted with Alexandria girls head basketball coach Mickey Hosier about his 18-4 team and a showdown for the CIC with Oak Hill on Saturday. Please stay tuned for that. Just FYI, some days, and of course, we will continually improve it until it's perfect. We start with the Pacers. Our Pacers guy Mike Rich unavailable today, but it was another ugly loss anyway. The Pacers' injury-plagued season saw them fall to 10-35 Wednesday with a 119-104 loss to Boston. The Pacers led 16-15 on a Pascal Siakam basket with 4:43 to go in the first quarter. The Celtics answered with a 15-4 run and led the rest of the game. Siakam was great again, 32 points, 12 of 21 shooting, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, another all-star performance. Jarris Walker is certainly shooting it well. He was 3 for 4 from deep and finished with 19 points on Wednesday, and now has made 52 of his last 105 three-point attempts. Not great at math, but to me, that's just shy of 50%. From what I've seen, the rest of his game has regressed a little bit this year. He was a really good playmaker with the Mad Ants last year, and haven't seen much of that, but there's hope that he'll be a contributor in the future. No one else scored in double figures. Andrew Nembhard did finish with 9 points and 9 assists. The Pacers assisted on 31 of 37 baskets. They'll be in Oklahoma City Friday for a finals rematch. I'm sure we'll hear from Mike Rich after that game on Friday. And of course, we hear from him every Monday on the Pacers Report. While watching the Pacers out of one eye, my interest was mostly on Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where I watched Caleb Wilson and the North Carolina Tar Heels beat Notre Dame 91-69. Wilson was incredible, 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. What a great passer he is. Incredible athlete, great passer, great finisher. Plays hard, defends, and rebounds. He is so damn good. He could score at will probably, but has decided to be a pass-first center. Would love to see him with the Pacers. And as I do on occasion on Greg and his friends talk sports, I go to Tankathon and find out, on this day at least, who will land with the Pacers in the 2026 draft. And it's Caleb Wilson with the 4th pick. And if they got the 4th pick and ended up with Caleb Wilson, that would be incredible. Dingathon.com also has BYU's AJ DeBonsa going first to the Jazz. Kansas's Darren Peterson going to the Kings with the 2nd pick. And Brooklyn will take Cameron Boozer out of Duke. All 4 of those, any of those guys would just be an incredible addition. Also in college basketball across the state on Wednesday, big win for Purdue Fort Wayne, 83-76 at Detroit Mercy. The Mastodons look like a potential conference champion and NCAA tournament team. They're now 13-8 overall, 7-3 in the horizon, a half game behind league-leading Wright State, and tied with Oakland. Oakland took a big defeat at home against IU Indy. Great performance from the Jaguars, 103-85 on the road. Finley Woodward, Kyler DiAgostino, and Jackson Edwards all scored 20 points or more for IU Indy. Also, Indiana State lost to Bradley 75-68. Valpo beat Southern Illinois 69-63. I almost went to Valpo, by the way. In the Big Ten, Nebraska improved to 19-0, 8-0 in the Big Ten with a 76-66 win over Washington. The game wasn't that close. Illinois is 7-1 in the Big Ten after an 89-70 win over Maryland. Tipton's Ben Hummerkaus finished with 6 points and 3 boards in 22 minutes off the Illini bench. And Northwestern won 74-68 at USC for the Wildcats' first conference win. In local women's college basketball, Ball State got a huge 78-60 win over UMass. Cardinals are now 7-0 in the MAC, 15-4 overall, and are tied atop the league standings with Miami, which has an identical record, 15-4 overall, 7-0 in the MAC. The Cardinals and Redhawks just happened to play it on Saturday at 11 a.m. in Muncie. That game can be seen on ESPN Plus, but just get over there, get to Muncie and support that team. Purdue lost 96-48 to number 3 UCLA in LA. Butler won its third straight, 73-67 over DePaul at home, and Purdue Fort Wayne beat Cleveland State 80-70. The final AP poll came out for college football, and guess what? IU finished number 1 in the AP press, garnering all the votes, of course. Miami was second, then Ole Miss, Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame in the top 10. IU was number 20 in the preseason poll and actually moved to number 21 after beating Old Dominion 27-14 in the season opener. Quite a climb for Coach Signetti and this team. The IU report is typically Tuesdays on the Central Indiana Sports Report, but since the national championship was Monday and we had an instant reaction podcast, we moved this week's IU report to Thursday. It should be out just before midnight. Grant and Mike will be joined by IU alum Dave Chanley, who was at the national championship game. And the three of them will talk about the season's biggest wins and greatest moments. I've seen the list. It's quite a list. Make sure you check that out. Busy day on the Central Indiana Sports Report. We also have an Elwood Panthers report, a Frankton Eagles report, IndyCar report, and a fight report. If you're into Elwood, Frankton, IndyCar, or fighting, today is your day. Iowa finished at number 17 after not being in the top 25 all year. The SEC had 7 teams in the top 25, including Vanderbilt. The number 12 Commodores was their highest finish at Vanderbilt since 1948. There were 6 teams in the Big Ten. The other 2 were number 20 USC and number 21 Michigan. James Madison finished at number 19 and North Texas at number 24. Both of them finished the season in the top 25 for the first time ever. The Indiana Fever's 2026 schedule was released on Wednesday, in case there actually is a season. Caitlin Clark and the Fever will host Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings to open the season on Saturday, May 9th. I'm sure that'll be a nationally televised game, like most of the Fever's games will be in 26. After a quick trip to Los Angeles to face the Sparks, the Fever will play 5 straight home games. Friday the 15th against Washington, then in Seattle, Portland, and Golden State. Again, this is all if the season is played, and that is very much in question at this point. Tune in to the Fever Report every Sunday for more details on the schedule, the lockout, and everything Fever with our Fever guys, John Robertson and Michelle Garman. Super Bowl 60 opponents will be determined on Sunday. Patriots at Broncos at 3 on CBS. Rams at Seahawks at 6:30 on Fox. We'll talk more about these games with Will Rutherford on Friday's Strictly Biased podcast, and on this podcast the rest of the week. On Wednesday, the NFL MVP finalists were unveiled. It's Christian McCaffrey, and for quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, and frontrunner Matthew Stafford of the Rams. Allen is the reigning MVP, and honestly probably should be this year as well, but he will not be. Also, Indianapolis will remain the home of the NFL Rookie Combine through at least 2028. A couple of national news headlines. The Mets have spent a lot of money this offseason. After losing Brandon Nimmo, Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz, and Jeff McNeil, the Mets have retooled by adding Bo Bichette, Marcus Semien, and Robert Luis before adding Freddie Peralta on Wednesday. But they're the Mets, so it probably won't matter. And IndyCar has announced an open test at Phoenix on February 17th and 18th. It will honor the Unser family. A couple of local headlines. Fishers basketball star Jason Gardner Jr. has picked up an offer from UCLA. Lawrence Central football coach William Patterson has resigned. And Eastern's Grant Kearns broke his own school record in the 200-yard freestyle in 151.75. Some high school basketball scores on the boys' side. Huge win for Lapel, 73-63 over Anderson, behind big nights from Owen Garber and Tyler Cash, who finished with a combined 54 points. Hope to have Lapel head coach Kevin Cherry on the Central Indiana Sports Report in the next few days. Also, Peru beat Northfield 73-44. Girls basketball, Alexandria improved to 6-0 in the CIC with a 68-32 win over Mississinawa. We'll hear from Alexandria head coach Mickey Hosier here in just a couple minutes. Also, Guerin Catholic beat Peru 54-32. Cass topped Wabash 70-32. Rochester defeated Taylor 54-16, and Tri Central got past Elwood 54-31. Looking ahead to Thursday, not a busy day at all. The Noblesville Boom actually played a little earlier today. They had a noon tip-off. Hope to get a report from my friend Aaron Pittman on that one. As of the second quarter, Noblesville's up 54-43 in Milwaukee against the Herd in the late second quarter. Some boys and girls basketball games on Thursday. For the boys, 5-6 Anderson Prep is at 1-13 Seton Catholic. 7-5 Greenfield Central goes to 6-5 Shortridge. And in the Indianapolis City Tournament, it's 3-9 Chittard against 10-3 Cathedral. 9-3 Heritage Christian against 6-8 Ritter. 6-6 Crystal House is at 7-4 Crispus Attucks. And 4-9 Tech is at 9-4 Cecina. Big day on the girls basketball court. 14-4 Daleville goes to 12-7 Eastern Hancock in a game that will decide the Mid-Eastern Conference. Both teams are 7-0 in conference play. 11-10 Marion hosts 16-4 Jeff with the North Central Conference Championship on the line. And 16-3 McConaughey is at 18-1 Whitco for the Three Rivers Conference Championship. A couple other games on Thursday. 6-12 Eastbrook goes to 15-5 Bluffton. 8-12 Elwood visits 2-15 West Dell. 13-5 Northfield is at 3-16 Madison Grant. 15-5 Delta hosts 12-7 Jay County. And 17-4 Lapel hosts 4-13 Muncie Central. I'll be back tomorrow with another update. Please stay tuned for Alexandria head coach Mickey Hosier. Now we're joined by Alexandria girls basketball head coach Mickey Hosier, whose Tigers defeated Mississinawa 68-32 on Wednesday night to improve to 18-3 on the season. Coach, how'd you get it done on Wednesday night?
Senior night, so special night for four of our girls and a couple of our managers, and like always, we got going with our defense and turned them over a little bit in the first quarter, and didn't look back from there.
So you're 18-3 now, Coach. 18 wins again this year, and like last year, I assume you're doing it with your defense.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You would have told me we were going to be 18-3 right now at the beginning of the year. I would have believed you, but just had a group of kids that really just believed in what we do and have really come together, and kind of a mesh of just girls that have played and girls that moved in and freshmen. And so as a coach, it's been really fun for me to coach this group and to be here at this point and playing for a conference championship on Saturday. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, not a lot of teams lose, 5 seniors last year and come in with another season like you're having.
Yeah, and just losing somebody like Jacqueline and that group of girls that have played here for so long. And, the thing that we talked about is that we kind of have a standard here now at Alexandria, and, it's a different group, but we want to live up to that standard. And so I've been really proud as a coach that this group has been able to do that.
And you brought it up already. On Saturday, it is a showdown for the CIC championship against Oak Hill. That game also at Alexandria. Coach, what is it that makes Oak Hill so good?
Yeah, it's kind of flipped roles. We were kind of the hunted last year and the favorite in the CIC, and had this veteran group, and Oak Hill was there and young and still gave us a really great game. And now this year it's kind of flipped. They're the veteran team, and they got a couple bigs that are really nice players, and Cates and Daly, and their guards, Hardman and Pond and Edwards. It's a really nice, well-rounded team, and They're very well coached and they get after it defensively. And it was a battle last year at their place. I fully expect it to be a battle at Alexandria for the conference championship this year.
I think anytime you win a CIC championship, it's probably pretty special. But this year, I think in particular, it might be a little extra sweet.
Yeah, as good as Alexandria has been and some of the players that have come through, they haven't won a lot. There was a time where the CIC was really good, and so even those good teams sometimes didn't win it. So, to be back in this place for the second straight year and having the opportunity to play for a championship, and we talk about getting your picture on the wall, those things are really important to us. And so, you know, we knew tonight we had to win and to set it up like it was last year, and now we have this opportunity again for Saturday night.
You mentioned that you had some players move in. One of those players is sophomore Grace Wood, who was in my class last year. Tell me what Grace has brought to your program.
Yeah, it's kind of a different time with the way they changed the transfer rule, and so it's kind of weird. You have some girls transfer in that obviously they're taking a girl's spot that was already in your program, and so Grace Wood and Layla Dietzer, they're both starters and transferred in. And I think what's great about them is that they are just they're easy girls to coach. They're quiet and they just fit right in. And there was no jealousy. And that's one of the reasons I think we've been successful is those girls meshed with the girls that were coming back. And it didn't take half the season to do that. They were good enough basketball players and great people. And so it was an easy transition for them.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it as always. Please let Grace know that we miss her over at Madison Gray.
I will do that. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Coach. And one last thing. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.